Hello guys, it's Lukanyisa Chikela here. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great day. Um, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. It massively really helps. The support really helps. And please push that thumbs up button to like the video, and please press that notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a new video. I would really appreciate that. Then today I would like, as I said yesterday, or the day before, like when I was talking about when I was talking about the Community Shield between Manchester City and Liverpool, I said I'll provide feedback after the game. I predicted that we were going to win 2-1. Obviously we lost 3-1, and a lot of Liverpool fans are really happy. And I've watched some analysis, some people saying that Liverpool fans might get the confidence from the game that they can win the league because they beat Manchester City in the Community Shield, which is kind of hilarious because, I mean, as much as I would have liked to win the game yesterday, because it is a trophy. I don't, I'm not on the bandwagon that it's a plastic trophy and therefore you just play for fun. You don't play for fun, you play to win every game you play. If you're a professional, then every game you go to, you want to win the game, and you wanted to win the game yesterday, but unfortunately we didn't win the game. So I just want to provide an analysis of the game yesterday, as I watched the game from start to finish, in terms of where I think we lost the game, and why I think there's really nothing to worry about with regards to the losing the game in the Community Shield, and there's nothing that needs to be concluded from losing the Community Shield yesterday. So I kind of made some notes here on with regards to the important parts of the match where I felt these are the things that I noticed in the game yesterday. Obviously, for starters, I think, between the two sides, I think Liverpool were the fitter side. Now, when I say fitter, I don't mean like our players were carrying injuries or whatever. Obviously, everyone was fit. I just think Liverpool, in terms of their fitness levels, in terms of their level of intensity, in terms of how they were pressing us all the time. Each time we had the ball and we were playing out from the back, Jordan Henderson was the one who was initiating the press, and they were pressing from the front, and they really didn't allow us to play our game in terms of playing out from the back. It kind of reminded me of the Atletico Madrid game we played in the Champions League last year. City fans who watched the game would obviously know what I'm talking about, that when we were playing that game, almost like Atletico Madrid in the second half, the second leg, because we were tired in the game and they were the fresher side, because they hadn't played the weekend prior to that game, they were pressing us from the front, and we really we couldn't play out from the back, which is obviously a strength of our team, and that's kind of where our offense always starts, and that we always start from playing out from the back, and then we kind of build up the play. Yesterday, Liverpool pressing, right, they never allowed us to play out from the back, and we were forced to hit long balls from time to time in order to make sure that we recycle possession and all of that stuff. So I think from that point of view, Liverpool were the fitter side, and their level of intensity was way higher than us. The reason for this, I think, in my opinion, is that Liverpool obviously came earlier than us in terms of their preseason. They started their preseason earlier, because I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago when they started on a Thursday. They came back on a Thursday, and then they went on tour, and they were already playing a game, I think, on the Saturday of that week. And then we started our preseason by training the very next week after Liverpool had started theirs on the Thursday. We started on Monday, we came back for fitness tests, and then that was the only time we started training. And then we went to America at the end of the week, I think, and then we played Club America and Bayern Munich. Whereas Liverpool played, I think, 4 games. Yeah, I think Liverpool played 4 games, and we played only 2 games against Club America and Bayern Munich. And both those games were not really tests, because I think Bayern Munich had also, they were also just starting their preseason. So again, they were not at their peak fitness, and that's why probably we looked better than them, because we were training a little bit more in terms of our fitness. We had trained a little bit more, so in terms of our fitness levels, we were the superior side to Bayern Munich, much like how Liverpool yesterday were the superior side because they had started earlier in terms of their preseason. So I think that was a thing that I really noticed in the game. And also, I think the decision making of some of our players was really uncharacteristic. Like Kevin De Bruyne didn't see certain passes that are usually easier for him to see. Like usually Kevin De Bruyne is he's the guy who sees the pass before anyone else on the pitch. But yesterday, for some reason, he was not seeing the pass early enough, and Erling Haaland was making some good runs in behind the Liverpool defense, because Liverpool always play a high line, but De Bruyne for some reason was not seeing the pass, and the lads were not really switching up play quick enough, because Jack Grealish and Mahrez at times were free on the wings, because Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson like attacking and they like moving forward. So we never won the ball from Liverpool, which we didn't do enough really, but whenever we won the ball from Liverpool, we weren't switching play quick enough in terms of moving it from one side of the field to the other, and exploiting those spaces behind the Liverpool defense whenever their fullbacks went high. So I think that was also something and also Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva was uncharacteristically losing the ball. His first touch didn't seem to be there. Like each time he was receiving the ball, he was either taking a bad touch or giving the ball away. And each time he was trying to pick a pass, he was not picking the right pass. What I saw from Bernardo Silva that resembles him is his level of intensity in terms of the pressing. Even though it's not as good as it usually is during the season, he was still pressing, and his desire was still there. Just that it looked like his football brain was absent, which I think that massively had to do with the fitness levels between the two sides, as Liverpool were the far superior side in terms of their fitness levels, in terms of their level of intensity, or in terms of the level of intensity that they were playing at. So I think, and then Cancelo as well, he was trying his pass, his trademark pass with the outside of his right foot, but he was getting it wrong most of the time. I think 9 times out of 10 he got it wrong yesterday, which that's a pass he normally makes, and it's a pass that normally looks very easy for him, but for some reason yesterday it had neglected him. And then I think the back line, I think Ruben Diaz at times looked a little bit shaky. He made some good tackles and some good blocks from some Liverpool shots, but there are also times yesterday whereby he didn't look like he was he made some few basic errors that you don't normally see from him. Usually you see errors from maybe Nathan Ake or Stones, and then Diaz is the one who's covering for them. But for some reason yesterday, Diaz was making a few errors as well. And then Walker as well. Kyle Walker is usually very reliable in terms of from a defensive point of view, and in terms of nullifying the attacking threat of the opposition teams that we play against, because we also normally play a high line, which gives teams a chance to counter attack us. For some reason yesterday, Walker seemed to be a little bit rusty. He seemed to be a little bit off it, and there were times whereby he was ball watching a little bit. There were times whereby he did not anticipate the game, in terms of seeing what's going to happen next and trying to nullify the counter-attacking threat of Liverpool. And then Haaland, I was happy with Haaland's performance because he got a lot of chances and he was making lots of runs, just that the lads were not picking him up. And he got a few chances, which I think on another day he could have scored maybe 2 or 3 goals, because he got I would say obviously the clear-cut chance he got from the game was the one he missed at the end of the game, that's when we were trailing 3-1. Maybe he had kind of switched off, because I mean that's an easy chance. I probably would score the chance as well if I was playing, but he missed it because Phil Foden took a shot, and then Adrian, the Liverpool goalkeeper, made a save, and then it fell to Haaland, and then he hit the ball, and then it hit the post and went out. That's uncharacteristic of Haaland, because usually a lethal finisher and a deadly finisher in the box, but for some reason he didn't finish that one. But I was happy with the runs that he was making and his level of movement, because I think that's something that we're going to use a lot this season. That's something that's going to be a massive tool for us. And he's always a willing runner. He's always willing to run it behind the defense when he sees space. Just that the boys were not really seeing the pass, and they were not making the pass early enough. And Jack Grealish whenever Jack Grealish had the ball, and I wanted him to take Trent Alexander-Arnold on and put the ball in the box for Haaland, he was playing it safe and going back all the time instead of backing himself and attacking. So some really uncharacteristic performances yesterday from players who normally perform well, which I think that the main reason why that happened is because Liverpool were the far superior side in terms of from a fitness point of view and from an intensity point of view. And then I think obviously another thing that made me happy was that Liverpool dominated the game for the first 30 minutes, but For the last 15 minutes of the first half, we were the superior side, and we were probing, and we were attacking, and we were attacking, and we were attacking. But we obviously didn't score in the first half. And second half, we kind of picked up where we left off, whereby we were also the superior side for the first 15 minutes of the second half. And then Pep made some good changes because he brought off Grealish and Mahrez, and he put on Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez. And I was really impressed with Julian Alvarez from the bench. His level of intensity really looked good. But I think also, I think also another reason why his level of intensity was very good is because Julian Alvarez, he did like the league in Argentina where he came from does not like it does not happen at kind of the same type of schedule as the Premier League. So what I mean by that is that Julian Alvarez, when the players went off to preseason and they went off to their holidays, he was still playing for River Plate in the Argentinian league because their league was not over there. I don't know when it finishes, but it was not over. It was still continuing. So that's why probably he was the fittest guy in our team, because he didn't necessarily go to the holidays. He had like his last game for River Plate was 2 days before our preseason began. So really, Julian Alvarez, it was the fittest guy because he basically did not go on holiday, and he was pretty much playing when our players went on holiday, which is why his level of intensity was there, and he was pressing all the time, and he obviously scored the goal, the one goal that we scored. It was good anticipation from him because Phil Foden took a shot and then Adrian saved it, and then Julian Alvarez was there to pounce, and then he scored, which was obviously that's something that makes me happy. Kind of like a poacher's goal, always being ready in the box. And always keep like being on your toes. I like that from strikers, even though he was playing on the right wing. So I was really impressed with his performance. Phil Foden was good as usual. Some silky smooth touches here and there. When he came on, link up play between him and Cancelo was really good on the left hand side. And his link up play with the midfielders as well. So it was really good, solid performance from Phil Foden when he came on. I thought he was really good. And then obviously. Another thing was that Rodri was really solid. I think Rodri is emerging as one of the best holding midfielders, if not the best holding midfielder in the Premier League and in the world. I think the players that are up there is obviously Casemiro for Real Madrid. I think Fabinho is really good for Liverpool as well, but I don't think there's anyone better in the holding midfield position in the Premier League better than Rodri. He controls the tempo of the game. He is what you need from a holding midfielder, whereby he's going to link the defense to attack, and he's going to extinguish fires. And when I say extinguish fires, he's going to make sure that he protects the defense each and every time the opposition is kind of running at the defense. He's going to be there to sweep. He's going to be there to clean up the mess. So he was really solid as usual yesterday. Kind of like his usual performances that he put on last season. Was really good yesterday. And then another thing I kind of saw in the game was that our attacking players, I think I've obviously mentioned this when I was talking about Haaland, in that he was making good runs and his movements was very good, but too often the players around him, so Mahrez, Grealish, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, they were not picking him up. They were not picking out his runs. They were not feeding him the ball when they should have fed him the ball. So I think the best way to put it was that the attacking players that we have are creative players. So the guys I just mentioned, Grealish, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Silva, they were not on the same wavelength as Haaland. They were not like, obviously it's the second time they're playing with him, because they first played with him for the first 45 minutes against Bayern Munich in the preseason tour in the States. And then it's the second time they were playing with him. So it's going to maybe take a little bit, like a few games here and there, for them to get used to the level of movement that Haaland has. Because don't forget that we've been playing with a false nine for the past 2 seasons. Because 2 seasons ago, even though we had Aguero was injured for the majority of the season. So we've been playing with this false nine for like 2 seasons in a row now. And it's really we've changed now. We're playing with a focal point. We're playing with Erling Haaland, which is different to playing with a false nine. So I think it's going to take maybe a game or two for the lads to kind of get used to Haaland's level of movement, and for them to be able to be on the same wavelength, and to be able to link up well with Erling Haaland, so that we can score as many goals as we possibly can. So I think as time goes on, the players are going to be on the same wavelength with Haaland, and they're going to understand his level of movement, and they are going to be able to feed him the right balls, the balls that he needs in order to succeed and in order to be able to score goals. So I think that's also something that I noticed from an attacking point of view. And then I think my last point here was that, obviously, concluding now on the thingy, concluding on the video, in that I'm not too concerned about losing the Community Shield to Liverpool. I would have been happy if we had won the game, because we would have won a trophy. It would be a good start to the season, but we obviously didn't win the trophies. So I don't think it's something that I like, that I need to dwell on, as well as you City fans. I don't think you should be worried about the game, because it's not really an indication of what's going to happen in the season. Because I think we always start slow anyways, from Manchester City, and this is not an excuse. If you look at last season, we lost the Community Shield to Leicester, and we lost the first game of the Premier League season to Tottenham. And I think we drew a few of our games, of our opening games. I think our first 10 games, or our first 5 games, we dropped some points and we lost some games. We also lost to Crystal Palace. But once we get on the groove, and once our players are at peak fitness and they're able to link up play with one another, we become an unstoppable machine, an unstoppable train, really. So, excuse me, I'm not too concerned with regards to losing the game to Liverpool, even though it was 3-1. I'm actually happy with the fact that we played a game. Haaland played a full 90 minutes. That's going to do his not his confidence, but that's going to do his fitness a world of good. It's going to improve his fitness. And all the other players that played a full 90 minutes, it's going to improve their fitness. And the guys who played like 60 minutes or 70 minutes, it's also going to massively improve their fitness going into that first game against West Ham next week, or a week from today, basically, because we're playing Sunday against West Ham. So I'm really not concerned, to be honest. I think we're going to be better. As time goes on, we're going to be fitter. The players are going to understand how to play with Haaland, and they're going to be able to do we are going to build up our patterns of play so that we can basically play to Haaland's strengths, and so that we give him the best chance possible to succeed and for him to score goals. So I think I'm really not too concerned about the game. I think it was a good game, and I'm also happy about the fact that there were moments in the game which we dominated, even though it was apparent that Liverpool are the fitter side and they were the side that were playing with more intensity. But there were periods in the game whereby we had the ball and we were dominating the game and we created a few opportunities. For me, that's a positive, because you could see when the game started that Liverpool were the better side in terms of their preparation and their level of fitness in the game. But then we grew into the game and we started to dominate parts of the game. And like even in the second half, we dominated the majority of the second half. And Liverpool kind of came into the second half after they had scored that second goal, which was a penalty. So honestly, I'm not too concerned with regards to the result. Obviously, congratulations to Liverpool for winning the game. But I don't think there's anything to worry about, or there's anything to kind of conclude from that game with regards to what's going to happen in the upcoming season. So yeah, so I think that's it really with regards to the review of that game between Liverpool and Manchester City in the Community Shield. If you have any comments about any of the comments that I made, or if you would like to kind of suggest something, how you saw the game, and maybe there's something that you saw that I didn't see, I would be interested if you would comment in the comment section below. And then also please subscribe to the video. Well, not the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. And then yeah, so I'll be making some videos, some more videos this upcoming week, kind of building up to the new season. We are going to enter into the, obviously the start of another week tomorrow. Friday the Premier League starts. Arsenal against Crystal Palace. That's going to be a good game. I think I'm going to watch it. I'm really intrigued to see how Arsenal are going to do this season. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.